Welcome to Alphabetville, a town so bright and grand. The houses are shaped like letters, standing tall across the land. B house, H house. The trees look like big green L's. The bushes look like us. The sun in the sky is a big happy O, smiling down on all of us. This is a very special place where letters come to play. They walk, talk, sing. Children who listen closely will learn a thing or two. They will learn to hear the letter sounds and make new words for you. In this friendly town lives Ava A, a letter full of fun. She loves action and adventure, and she loves to jump run.
Up for action.
She points to things that start with A, all over and around. Apple, ant, airplane. She loves her sound, the happy ah and I in everything she'll do. She is a bouncy, happy friend to every single letter. There is no one in Alphabetville who loves their sound much better. But one bright morning, on the last day of October, something was quite wrong. She opened up her mouth so wide to let her sound fly free, but not a single peep came out for anyone to see. She tried to say the ah in apple, she tried to say the I in play, but silence was the only thing that came from her that day. Ava A felt a little tear roll down her curvy side. Her sound was gone, completely gone. She had no place to hide. Her friends came out to greet the day, with sounds so loud and clear.
B for brave. There is nothing we should fear.
But then he saw his dear friend Ava, looking very glum. He patted her hand gently, his own voice feeling numb. Cora C, so clever, came to see what was the fuss.
C for curious.
What is wrong with one of us? They saw that Ava A was sad. Her happy sound was lost. They had to find it right away, no matter what the cost. Benny B was a brave friend, though sometimes a bit clumsy. He loved to build big towers. He helped bees that were all fuzzy.
B for brave.
He stood up tall, his round parts puffed with air.
We will help you, Ava A.
We will look everywhere.
We will find your sound and make it reappear.
Cora C, the clever one, put on her thinking cap. She loved to solve a puzzle. She avoided a tricky trap.
C for curious. We must retrace your steps. We must see what might be caught. A sound cannot just disappear. It does not fly away. It must be hiding somewhere close, or it went somewhere to play.
Vera Vowell, the teacher, heard the worried little group. She glided over gracefully in a gentle, flowing swoop. She sang a little tune to say hello to everyone. Her voice was like a melody warmed by the morning sun. She taught the vowels their special sounds, the long ones, the short ones. She helped the letters blend in words of every single sort. She saw that Ava A was quiet, with a sad and worried face. She knew a sound was missing from its proper, happy place.
Do not you worry, little one. A sound is never truly lost when it is not alone.
Then came Mr. Mix, the inventor, with a whirring, clicking sound. He loved to build peculiar things he'd spread all over town. His hair was sticking up in spikes. His glasses were askew. He carried a small metal box, shiny, bright, and new.
My latest great invention, the Sound Snatcher 3000. There's nowhere sounds can hide.
The other letters looked at him. Then they looked at Ava. They wondered if this odd machine was the cause of all the drama. Mr. Mix just laughed a lot and polished his machine. It was the strangest little box they had ever seen. The friends decided they must search, so they all made a plan.
We will start at Letter Lake.
Leading the whole clan. They walked together, hand in hand, a long and friendly line. The sun, a happy O, continued its bright shine. Letter Lake was shaped like a big O, so perfectly and round. It was a place where water made a gurgling, happy sound. Little ducks with yellow beaks would quack a happy tune. Quack, 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 a sound that had a little ah. They paddled in the water underneath the afternoon. Ava A stood by the edge and listened with her ears, but all she heard was water splashing, calming all her fears. She listened to the gentle wind that whispered through the reeds. It hummed a little ooh sound as it tickled all the weeds. But it was not her sound, not quite, no matter how she'd try. She heard the buzzing of the bees, a zooz from flower to flower. She heard the chirping of the birds high up in a green tower. The lake was full of lovely sounds, a beautiful display. But Ava's special sound was not at Letter Lake that day.
It isn't here. Where did my dear sound go?
Cora C. looked at the ground and saw 3 shiny stones. They looked just like the letters B-A-T in lovely colored tones. She pushed them all together, trying hard to make a word.
Bu, tisesto.
Without the A, the word was stuck. What were they going to do?
Butu is not a word.
Next, they walked along Sound Street, where every lamp was shaped. Some looked like the letter G, some like a T was draped. The shops along the street would play small jingles, short and sweet. The sounds would dance and float around for everyone to meet.
Perhaps my new machine can help us to at least just try. I turned it on this morning right before I came outside. It might have snatched your sound by chance, a simple, small mistake.
He gave his odd machine a very wobbly, hopeful shake. He placed the metal box upon a bench shaped like an S. The box began to blink with lights, a truly tangled mess. It buzzed, it whirred, it made a pop, it gave a little cough. It seemed this new machine of his was just a little off.
It is supposed to catch loose sounds, to keep them safe and sound inside so they don't blow away.
He turned a little dial, then pushed a button. A tiny door slid open, showing something strange and new. Inside were tiny swirling lights of green, red, blue. Each one was a tiny sound he'd caught. The friends all gathered closer, peering in to get a look. The lights were humming tiny sounds from a storybook. They heard a little buh sound try to mix with a soft puh. They heard a hiss like sss that tried to turn into a shush. The sounds were all jumbled up, a very noisy pile. They were not happy in the box, not even for a while. Then, for just a moment, a tiny light glowed bright. It made a perfect awe sound, a truly welcome sight. Ava's face lit up with joy. She reached a hand out near, but then the box just clicked again and filled them all with fear. The little awe sound flickered once, then zipped away. It slipped right through a tiny crack and would no longer stay. The sound was much too scared to be inside a metal box. It needed to be free to play around the village clocks.
Oh dear, it needs the air. I will fix my mixed-up box with lots of care.
Let us not despair. I know another place to look. There might be sounds in there.
She pointed to a pathway that was winding and was deep. Let's go into the word woods, where the sleepy letters sleep. The friends all walked together to the woods of green-brown. The trees had letters carved on them, all over Alphabetville town. And hiding in the leaves above were tiny, glowing lights. These were the letters waiting there, on dark, starry nights. They waited for a friend to come and put them in a row, to make a word that they could form and set them all aglow. Cora loved to search for words. It was her favorite game. She looked up in the branches, calling letters by their name. She spotted a bright, shining C and then a T nearby. And in between them, hanging down, an A caught her sharp eye. She reached up high and tapped the C, which started to then glow. It made its happy Q sound, putting on a little show. She tapped the silent A, which only blinked a little bit. Then Cora tapped the final T, which made its T sound well. The 3 lights glowed, but not enough to cast a magic spell. The word was weak. It could not form. The lights were pale and thin. Without the ah in the middle, the magic can't begin. The leaves upon the branches gave a sad and gentle shake. The word cat could not come to life, for goodness gracious sake. The friends all looked at Ava, who was trying with her might. She opened up her mouth again and pushed with all her light. She tried to send her ah sound up to help the letter A. But still, no sound would come from her to save the tricky day. The woods fell very quiet, and the letters dimmed their gleam. It all felt like a strange and very disappointing dream. Vera Vowel, who saw their hope was starting to wear out, began to sing a special song to make them want to shout. It was a little vowel song, a tune so soft and bright. The other letters knew it well and sang with all their might.
I says ah. A says I. I helps us start our words each day. When we sing with C and T, we make cat for all to see.
They sang it once, they sang it twice. The song was in the air. Little stars of music floated down from everywhere. The letters on the tree began to glow a little more, and Ava felt a little tingle right down to her core. Their search was not yet over. There was one last place to go, to Vowel Valley.
A place of magic sounds, where voices fly so free. The echoes can find a sound for you, and also for me.
They walked until they reached a valley, lush and green and deep. Soft, rounded hills where sleepy echoes sleep. The friends stood together in the middle of the space. Hope spread across each letter's face. They held hands to form a friendly, loving ring. Vera told them it was time to sing. Vera Vowel led a song for the vowels one by one. She wanted every vowel sound to sing out to the sun.
It sang a happy, cheerful E. I sang its E. O sang a big round O. Oo sang its that bounced around.
The valley tossed their voices to the sky. The echoes answered as clouds floated by. The sounds grew big and bigger, powerful and grand. They filled the air across the land. Ava listened and closed her eyes tight. She felt music like a beautiful warm light. A soft, gentle wind began to blow. It smelled of apples. It smelled of acorns. The wind felt cool on her face. It tickled at her tongue. It carried the happy songs the letters sung.
It is time. You must be strong. Your sound is here inside of you, where it has been all along.
Ava took a great big breath. She opened her mouth wide. A little rumble started deep inside. And then it came. A little sound, a soft and quiet ah. It wasn't loud. It wasn't bold. Not yet a big hurrah. But it was there, a tiny whisper floating in the air. The friends stopped singing and turned to stare. The sound was back. It had returned. But it was very shy. It was a little wobbly. It was afraid to fly. Not quite strong enough to fit back in a word. It needed help. It needed friends. To find its proper place.
I have something else to help. It's silly, bright, and green.
He ran back to his workshop and returned with something new.
It was a friendly word machine, for me and also you. This machine puts sounds in words. It takes a little while.
He wound the crank up slowly, and the machine began to hum. A much more gentle sound, not numb. The friends all gathered round to see what this machine could do. They hoped it was the final step to see their mission through. They made a happy game of it, to make the work seem fun. They picked out simple, easy words for everyone. Cora C, so clever, chose cat. Benny B chose bat. Ava A chose apple. They put the sounds into the top and turned the crank so slow.
Pop, whiz, pop.
Then out came picture cards shining soft light.
They said CATBATAPPLE.
Ava said her ah sound, strong now. It fit right in the middle. The word cat on the card began to shine. The word bat looked so real. Benny did a happy leap. He almost tumbled in a clumsy heap.
Hooray! Ava's sound is back where it should be.
One little sound makes words so strong for everyone to see.
Let's try another game. Let's swap the letters in a word.
She took the card that said bat and swapped B for P. The word became pat. They laughed with glee. They saw how one new letter sound could make a whole new word. It was the best new lesson that they had ever heard. Now that all the words were bright and Ava's sound was strong, she felt so very brave again. She sang a happy song.
I says ah, I says I. A helps us start our words each day.
The sun, a giant letter O, was smiling even more. The sounds of Alphabetville were stronger than before.
I will make better things from now on. Things that help our letter friends and let the fun begin.
They had a giant picnic down by Happy Letter Lake. They ate some apple slices and some alphabet-shaped cake. They sat upon some blankets that were colored red and blue. They told some happy stories that were wonderful and new. Each friend then said a single word that had the sound of A. They cheered for Ava and her voice that had been saved that day.
All letters are important.
Each sound helps make a word for us. and we must always care. When a friend has lost their way, we must be kind and share. At the very end of day, the sun began to sink. The sky turned soft and orange and then a gentle pink. The town began to glow with lights, a soft and sleepy sight. Ava A. let out a yawn and said with all her might,
A is for adventure. A is for an apple. A is for all of my friends who make my life so happy.
Benny and Cora sang a song to say a soft goodbye, and Vera sang a lullaby to stars up in the sky. It was a perfect ending to a very busy day. All the letters were so glad their friend was now okay.
They sang one final song together, short and soft and slow. It went like this. When letters sing and letters play, they build the words we use each day. A, B, C, and friends so true. Words are magic, me and you.
The little lights in Alphabetville began to blink and fade. The letters all went home to sleep, a promise they had made. They promised to help anyone whose sound had gone astray. Because friends who work together can always save the day. Goodbye from Alphabetville, where all the letters play. Where every letter has a voice, and together, words come to life. Wow, what a fun adventure! Remember, the fun doesn't have to stop here. Be kind, stay curious, and keep exploring new ideas every day. And hey, if you liked today's story, don't forget to tell a friend and come back for more magical moments next time. Like and subscribe to the channel so we can send you more magical stories like this.